Stan, we're live.
Ah,
So keep on your pants and don't use any foul language.
promise at least one of those.
Oh, and I forgot that you told me I was covered in latex bits.
Yeah.
No Dremel goes unpunished.
True.
All right, so I need to set up the computer as per usual. Okay. Larry Hughes, Doc Wayne 72, Rachel Powell, Chad Smith, Jordan Bunce, DM Cash, Lucky 2001, Scott Colhart, Ron Sheps. You told me once how to say that, and I beg your forgiveness, I forgot. Stanley S., Ken Zarish, Nate Slankard, Line Cook Thor, Jamie Thaxton, longest name on YouTube, The Haunt Dermot, hashtag The Haunt Dermot, slightly longer actually. Boy, y'all are just going. All right. Michelle Schulte, Poison Sumac, Hugo Cordierlete, Caitlin Longberry, hello. Scuba Steve, hello. Your Mom's Puddin', good evening. Courtney Pepino, Lindy Vito, Harry Beastie, Ezekiel Bradshaw, Cobwebs and Candlesticks, Rachel Powell, Jen Fa, Fieldwalker Mask, hello Scotland, Mike Murphy. You don't have to apologize for missing last week, Puddin'. Schizo the Clown. Cobwebs, Chet Smith. This is roll call, that's right. The first one's on should get some kind of a shout out. Michael J. Lasseter, Chet Smith, Mike Manning, Sheps, Ron Sheps. James Minnick. Hello, James. It's not foggy, my phone is dirty. Trav's Gardens, Trav's Haunted Yard. You on the Texas salad super smoky. I don't know what that was supposed to say,
The devil's lettuce.
but that's awesome. Texas salad. That sounds like a nickname for marijuana, doesn't it?
It does. Like
Yeah,
devil's
or
lettuce.
like extra brisket would be like Texas salad. Well, it's a dirty legs. Stabby the Clown here, and Ken White. All right, so now I'm gonna come over there and be like a little grandmother and clean off your cheeks with a dirty rag out of my pocket. Oh, see how much better that makes life? Okay. Oh, all right, I caught up with everybody. Well, almost. So, what I haven't caught up with is all the crap that I have to do. So, I don't get to sculpt tonight. I don't get to have a paint-a-palooza. We'll be doing some painting. But this is called the Upside Down is Bugging Me, because you're going to see some Demogorgon work, and you're going to see some more insect work to get these guys done. Steve, pull that pair of hands. You can't. Are you committed?
I'm committed. I will put them, when you're done showing me about the insects off.
Stan is chemically committed, but he's going to show you something cool that he's working on. So this is another one of the insect masks, and we are going to be painting these guys. Hooray, thumbs up. Oh, yeah, did you guys like this week's YouTube Wednesday? What did you think of it? Someone reached out to me and said, I need to make a weeping angel, and I need it to be as cheap as possible. So that knowledge informed all of my choices as far as how I made it. When you have a variety of techniques at your disposal, then nothing stops you from making what you want. It changes how you make it. I got to plug you in, man. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. No. So this shirt is actually from a famous Monsters of Filmland convention. And now, look at Stan's buggy arms. Yeah, show him sideways, sideways. Yeah, yeah. See, he's gonna be a praying mantis when he grows up.
Someday.
Yeah.
My mom said.
Yeah, that was his wife's idea for his Halloween costume. I don't know how to tell him that she's probably going to eat his head off afterwards. Like Halloween night. It's last night for Mantis Stan.
One last Halloween.
Oh, Mantis Stan. Oh, Mantis Stan.
Your wife is dead. Your head right off.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mantis wives get a little carried away with your celebration dance. People are asking about your socks, Stan.
So I moved, and the magic socks are currently in a box somewhere. I don't know where they are. So tonight it's just plain old white socks and tennis shoes.
It's white sock Stan. Not even sandals.
Not
You guys
even
don't even
sandals.
get sandals tonight.
They're in another box. Don't know where they are.
Okay. All right, so you have that moving table. I'm going to make this moving table move. Can you use Gorilla Spray adhesive? It depends on what you're using it for. But it depends. Yes, you can use Gorilla Glue Spray adhesive, but I don't know what you're using it for. You just want it as a general spray adhesive? Certainly. I still feel like Super 77 is the best. It's okay for EVA foam. I much prefer contact cement. Contact cement is far better for EVA foam. I don't actually recommend Super 77 for EVA. The best spot for the sandals is in a box under a bridge. That sounds like a very.
Ezekiel say that.
That sounds like a very Ezekiel
I
Australia.
didn't even have to look.
Yeah, that was pretty Aussie. Yeah.
I knew that was Ezekiel.
Super 77 is good. I just don't like it for spray foam. I mean EVA foam. One of them foams that we're talking about. Okay, so I have to kind of move. Hello, Ken White. Did you get a warm welcome? That's great. I'm glad. Oh, okay. I've had a day that is driving me to be happy to be here, and I realize that everything I'm doing is off camera. Sorry. No, it's not foggy, and I did clean my lens, so it's better now than it was. But I just had a dirty lens. And I have latex all over me, so I was doing a lot of dremeling. Hey, John. John Winkler. That's cool. What videos have you seen and liked so far? I have a hard time describing sometimes what happens here, simply because I have the weekly videos, the YouTube Wednesday videos. Those are, I'm kind of building a library of techniques and projects with that. And then I have a mask and costume making business, and that is what I'm normally doing on the live feeds. If it's a live video, it's normally mask or costume related. So some of that bleeds through. Hello, Jerry Collins. I like Super 77. It's good stuff. Oh, the werewolf and scarecrow videos. Cool deal. Awesome. Well, today you're going to see some bug stuff and some Demigorgon stuff. Hey, it's a wife.
Hi.
Are you helping me?
Sam.
Oh, that's so awesome. You don't like having your back. Well, you know what? Here's what I'll do.
I can show it. Sure.
Okay. How do you make a clown mask? All right.
Contacts.
So, yes. I'm not a clown guy. There are so many clown masks out there. I kind of feel it's my job to protect the mask market from there being more unnecessary clowns. It's not that I don't hate. It's not that I hate clowns. It's just that, you know how there are people who say that they love cats, but what they really do is they go out and they catch feral cats and they get them fixed and then they drop them back off. I would like to do that with clowns because we just have too many of them. So yes, the clown tax. Since you asked me to make clowns, you owe $5. I don't make up the rules. I'm just telling you. Cobwebs is covering clown tax.
Contacts! And
So-
he goes up
So all
3
right,
times.
here is how you make a clown mask. Now he has paid the clown tax. Someone has paid for you. So now I can explain. You take any mask in the world and you just paint it like a clown. I mean, this isn't, don't make it harder than it is. Like, you see a cool werewolf mask, paint it like a clown. You see a cool Frankenstein mask, get it, paint it like a clown. You see a terrible mask at Walmart, get it, paint it like a clown. So, there you go. Yes. I love the 1962 version of Godzilla and King Kong because that is the one where King Kong picks up a tree and tries to shove it down Godzilla's throat. And it looks like a giant thing of broccoli. It's like, eat your vegetables, lizard! Yeah, I love that movie. So fun. 1/3 casting latex, 1/3 distilled water, and 1/3 latex house paint. I get it from Home Depot, interior flat, in the color of your choosing. Because everything else is clear, you see. Yes. So that happens a lot. I do get the paint formula a lot. And you can paint anything as a clown. Anything. It doesn't have to be a mask with a long chin and big cheeks. It doesn't have to be that. You know what? If I ever made like an Allen mask where it's just my face, and I find out that someone made a clown out of it, I would probably go after them. Like, I'd go to their house, and I wouldn't like punch them. That'd be rude. I don't know. It wouldn't be good. I wouldn't be happy. Jerry Collins is asking, how is the guy in the background?
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Stan, are you okay?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm living the
Is he
dream.
giving help me signs while I'm not looking? Is that what he's like, get me out of here? Okay. You could buy a clown mask and paint it like a zombie. I think that would be a good upgrade. Wife, are you on comments now?
Where did you stop?
I know I missed some. I see the word hammered bronze, but not the whole comment.
I made the hanging cage you made in an older video. It came out good. I painted hammered bronze.
That's awesome. Hammered bronze is a great color. Dark bronze is my favorite, like, metallic color. It's the dark bronze, man. I love that. That's a good. I base a lot of my apocalypse masks with that. And then you can punch up or punch down as needed.
I'll buy a clown mask and paint it like a zombie.
That, you know what? If I, like, my wife, she wants to start, my wife would love to, like, go out and get every homeless cat and dog and bring them back to this big farm where they can all live happy and feed them. I think you just inspired me. I think what I want to do is I want to go out and buy clown masks and turn them into other monsters. I can't think of a better thing to do with my time than buying
You have so much time.
clown masks. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Stan, On this guy, let's take advantage because we want a little more shape stability. Okay, we have a little bit of a wobble here. So cut a big triangle
Okay.
that can wrap a little bit around this. And then you'll almost have like bracing this length for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if the strip was my first idea, I would go with a triangle now. I think that'd be better.
Courtney Pino says hello.
Hello, Courtney Pepino.
Tracy Wood says that she loves the insect arms.
Thank you.
Harry Beastie says, Alan turns up at your door, forced repaint issues.
Yeah.
Serious.
I'm gonna show up and just repaint your masks. That's how it
Michael
works.
Lester, so if I made a Carl mask and painted like a clown, technically, you couldn't be upset. I'm gonna press on.
Press on.
Says,
Pressing on.
I think we need a Carl mask.
Yeah, it would just look like a crazy dude, or it would look like a fat Charles Manson mask, sans swastika. So, I don't know that that's a good idea.
Tina Kusiak says, awesome t-shirt, Alan.
Thank you.
Michelle Schulte says, oh my god, I see a new YouTube website coming. Misty Gadreski says hello.
Hello, Misty.
John C says, I love the colors on me. Lisa says, sounds perfect. Get on it, Carl mask.
All right, so I need to put some detail on this.
Randy Kaversky, is Elmer's contact cement good to use?
Elmer's contact cement? I mean, contact cement is contact cement. I normally use Weldwood, but I don't know why Elmer's would be bad. I mean, I'm sure it's fine.
Does Elmer's make contact or is that rubber cement?
Elmer's does make rubber cement. I haven't seen their contact cement. Doesn't mean they don't make it.
Lennon Cook says hello and happy you're on tonight.
Hello! I'm happy I'm on tonight too. It's actually kind of nice to have a day, whatever weird stuff happens in my day, I can come here and count on everybody here to be positive and awesome. I think lining that eye really makes a nice difference.
Lisa says that Chen can develop a character as Carl's girlfriend. I can see the love now.
So at one point in time in Carl's Playhouse, we had Carl, we had Carl's Jr., we had Carlos, and we had a Carla. Carlos ran around only speaking Spanish, and it was pretty fun. These mandibles are a little floppier than I would like.
Courtney says now this is an ingredients Rodney Cook says, it's keeping me awake while driving back from Beaumont. So thanks for being on.
Hooray!
Leonard Cook says, the creature you're painting looks like mosquitoes here in Texas.
Yes, just a little smaller than them. It's a little smaller than most mosquitoes here in Texas.
Caitlin Longberry, I am on the bus heading to the store, so this is great to watch after being stuck in class all day.
Hooray! Glad to hear it.
Your notifications are on.
Oh man, I suck at this. It's got to come down wider and attach onto that the gray foam on the sleeve. So extend the wide part of your triangle down about 2 inches.
So it glues on
Yeah, yeah. Just let it glue onto everything,
Gotcha.
and that way it's one more thing holding everything together. Sorry about the notifications, everybody.
Brotherhood, Alan, I noticed that you made your bug online, and so I have to check it out. It looks great.
This one, no, but I made one the other day online. Like, this is like the third one that I've done.
Joanna Crowley says hello.
Hello, Joanne Crowley.
Tracy Wood says, hey, I'm late to the show. What are you creating the new creature for? Anything specific?
This is for a haunted house in Maryland called Legends of the Dog, who, they're kind of in my hometown that I grew up in when I was a kid. And they're adding a lot of really cool stuff to their show this year. So this is something that I'm working on for them.
Where are they out of?
The Baltimore area. They're in Bel Air, Belcamp, Maryland.
Yeah. I know that place.
The Harford County Mall is in Bel Air, Maryland, and that's where I would go to get in fist fights as a youngster. Good times.
Robin said, okay, thanks, I'll look it up. Cobweb says, oh no, I'm sorry, you didn't just Jordan Bunsey. A couple of weeks ago, you all were talking about local urban legends. Because of that, I ended up helping create a character of one of my actors, and it goes perfectly with our theme. Thank you.
Awesome.
Alan, have you ever used Baccarat for making vines?
Yes, I have.
Will contact cement adhere nylon to rubber?
Yes.
Thank you, Kelly O'Brien, for the $5. Says
Hey.
Raising Cane's for dinner and $5 for you because that ball is so amazing. Skin and bones.
Okay.
Lonnie Willing says, hello, I'm a new subscriber. Your instructional videos are so inspiring and helpful. Thank you so much for all you do. Your ideas are great. You make it so easy.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Kelly O'Brien says, because the mask.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm just figuring out where this guy can use some black spots. Something to break up all this green. And then I have to do a pattern on the eyeball because I did it on the other one, and that's something I'm going to use to unify these guys together. That's a nice eyeball, in my opinion. I don't want to toot my own horn. I'm not in love with that eyeball, but I wouldn't kick it out of the socket. That's an eyeball, Jake.
Videos on how to make vines.
I do. Go to my channel and search the word vines. I have a couple. My favorite method right now, though, is actually you go to Uline or a janitorial supply company and get yourself the roll of brown paper towels, the never-ending brown paper towels, and then get a bucket of latex paint in the color that you want, and then a bucket of the waterproof wood glue, a gallon and a gallon of those two. Mix those two together with probably about a gallon of water, and then a couple bags of peat moss. And you just start like an assembly line of someone, you know, set the paper towel up, roll up so it can roll, and then you roll it and someone scrunches it, and you put it through the liquid, the paint and glue, and you know, that you mix up, dip it in that, and then you have someone sprinkle peat moss on it, and you got to hang it up to let it dry. But once it dries, it's really good vines, in my opinion. I think the video that I have online is me doing them out of backer rods. Hello, Zombie Shrek.
Zombie Frack.
Zombie Frack. I heard Zombie Shrek, and I was excited, and then I heard that it was my buddy Amber, and now I know I'm excited for different reasons.
Weird Kid says, love the guys.
Thanks. Weird Kid's gonna start making masks.
The Hot Dermot says, I love what you're doing with the guys.
Hey, thanks.
Lisa says, the blue metallic is gorgeous. Tracy Wood, that pattern would look great on my giant beehive. Thanks.
Get on it. It is a series of hexagons. It is a series of hexagons, and it's the paint technique that I picked up from Steve Wang. If you look at some of his work, it's a natural pattern that kind of presents itself, that he takes advantage of, and that now I occasionally take advantage of and massacre greatly because I'm nowhere near as good as he is.
Mike Chesnowski says, do you know when the paint is ready?
Oh! Okay. Stan says, now Stan just moved, so I'm cutting Stan a lot of slack on this. All right? Stan says I should be able to approve a couple things in the next day or two.
They're approved, they just have to be bought.
Oh, is it ready to go?
I'm gonna load them up. So
There you go. Let me know when it's loaded, and I'll soon.
So soon.
Soon. It has been a whirl.
Isn't your assistant supposed to laugh at all your jokes?
No. My assistants are here to mock me, so that I don't get full of myself.
Robert White says, look at that lump of fur on the floor.
Yeah, that would.
Ezekiel says,
Three
we
lumps of
got
fur.
a link to the Cure Continuous Brown Paper Towel, pretty please.
Well, now see, that's one I just threw at them. But here in the States, I use a company called Uline. So whatever janitorial service supply company, I think they're called Manila paper towel, and it comes on a big roll, and it's meant for industrial paper towel machines. I'm gonna have to grab some of that and do a video, I guess.
Harry Beastie, if you open the paper towel from the center core, it is self-coiling. Halloween Kieran says hello. Tutsi says those dollars look real comfortable.
Well, they made the mistake of trying to hang out with me last night while I was editing. And I was editing till about 5 in the morning. So So these dogs are tired. They have not been themselves today at all because they were up so late last night. Committed a cardinal sin, and I got white on the teeth where I didn't want to get white. So now we have to wait, and I'll repaint that. Even I booger up teeth. It's actually not uncommon. Okay. So I think I'm going to like this guy and call him done-ish. Think I should airbrush some purple around these gums? Or do you think the gums are okay being the same color as everything else because he's a bug? Or should he have more fleshy bits in there? You guys decide. Anybody weighing in on my bug questions? White? Are you looking at kitten videos?
I wish.
Me and my buggy. Yeah. I think warming those, it would probably be a better oven job than it would be a heat gun job.
Cobweb says the weird kid's first sculpt will be Oopla the Mock. He just doesn't know it yet.
That would be a great fun sculpt.
Zombie Frack says purple. Manuel Criado says, hello fellow creator, the bug mask is looking great, nice work.
Hey, thank you.
Cobweb says baby blue guns.
And you already got blue eyes.
Halloween Kieran, what is your #1 mask of all time?
I think right now it's either a pumpkin blank or the Gravedigger. It's either pumpkin or Gravedigger. It's one of those two.
Stay Tuned Guitar says fleshy bits. Courtney says red bits. Brad's Garden says purple. Mike Chisnowski says it's perfect. Joanna Crowley, purple and fleshy bits. Robert White, purple. Monster Denison, opaque purple. Chad Smith, I think it needs something in the gum area. Jennifer, purple. Larry Hughes agrees with cobwebs. Match the eyes. Tracy Wood, I would also do bluish. Sarah R, purple and fleshy. Tracy Wood needs something though. Tina Kisiak, purple. Corky Patino, Gravedigger. What? Scott Greenhart, Ellen, was that Taiwan wood glue you used?
So there are two types of wood glue. One has a red cap and one has a blue cap. And I think it is blue cap good, red cap bad, blue cap good. That's what I think it is. I think you use the blue cap wood glue. Get whatever one is waterproof when it dries. Because one of them, when you put in it with water, it'll curdle immediately and get clumpy. And the other one will just thin with water. You want the one that thins with water and ends up water resistant.
Jim says drool. Ezekiel says his greatest mask will be when he does a coral mask. Cobweb says snot. Cody Martin, purple. Full degree of terror. Good evening, Hot.
Good evening.
Cobweb, snot the bloody hell out of it. Scott Colmark says purple. Third degree says I know it's purple. Cobweb says Carbon 3 has a clear tip. Masato K says hello.
Who has a clear tip? What?
Type on 3.
Yeah, well, there's the kind that Home Depot sells in gallons. And one of them has a red cap and one of them is a blue cap. So. Yes. Lots of people have. One of the things that I do is I'll make a character and then I'll give it to somebody else.
Can you even see?
My glasses are a little dirty.
I can't even see your eye. Can you see out of your glasses?
See what I mean about them being here to mock me? He didn't have
How
to
are you
say that on
possibly
camera.
saying that?
So my glasses are a little dirty. There's a little bit of dust on them.
Are you adding silicone to drool?
I wasn't going to drool up these bugs. That was not my plan.
Sato says, I can't wait to make a weeping angel.
Yeah, you should make a weeping angel. Absolutely. I think that's a good use of your time. Make a few.
Tracy Wood says that color is great. Is that the purple?
Yes, that's a dark purple. And it's going over a green, so it picks up some of that. And the answer was barely. I could barely see.
Barely.
I had a few spots of vision, but it was clear vision.
You were getting by.
Yeah.
Just check. Wow.
It's a whole new world with clean glasses. Everybody who said purple or red or blue, well, blue and red together makes purple. Leave a little bit of that purple showing at the root. I think that's nice.
Third degree of terror says, I love the blue eyes contrasted against the green skin.
Thank you.
It's not okay. Have you ever tried to paint over something on a mask and found out that it was something on your glasses?
Normally what happens to me is that I will have trouble reading something on the screen. I'm like, man, that font is messed up. And it's just that my computer screen is dirty. And there's little chunks of things on my computer screen. How that happens, I have no idea. All right, I'm going to call this guy done. I'm going to let these teeth dry up. Dry up, me hearties, yo-ho. Actually, you know what? I think I need to darken in around here because I feel like these are blending in on camera. They're not to the eye, though. No, I can tell they're separate. I'm not going to do that.
James Phoenix says, I love your bug mask out.
Thanks, James. James, you're very supportive. I think the only things that you've ever said to me is, I love your masks. And in a world like we have today, that is a very welcome thing, and I value your biased input.
Sato K says, the bug is awesome. Zombie Frack says, I love it. JLR 538LM says, hello.
Hello.
Ezekiel wants to know, will there be an insect dance?
It is possible that we could have a backup insect rave. That is possible. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 8:12 p.m. Have
Oh.
a good night.
Cobweb says, at least Top 1980 isn't here to tell you 5 other things he would have done to that mask.
You know what? Many times he's right. And, or he just has a different vision than I do. And it is okay that we have different visions, and I can respectfully listen to him and sometimes say, hey, that's a good idea and try it. And other times say, no. But it's not all bad, guys. And as much as he watches, I have no doubt that he is at least somewhat invested in my work, and he wants it to be as good as it can be, which is nice.
Avant Dermot says that mask is great. Thumbs up. We love color choices.
Thanks.
Dustin Fox Magic. I love all your videos. Just started doing Halloween DIY, and I found a channel.
Very cool.
Aaron M says it came out gorgeous.
Thank you. Okay, so this mask needs some black in it. I'm going to hit some of these lines and stuff with black.
Mike Chisinowski, what is the easiest way to make walls for a haunt?
Wall panels, 4x8 wall panels. I like to use 2x2 as my supports, and I like a, let's just call it the H method, not the triple beam method, where you cut 3 pieces at 45 inches, and then you have your 2 side pieces that are 1.5 inches each. That makes 48 total, so that goes on your board, goes on your piece of plywood. And I do use plywood. OSB is always cheaper, but it's heavier than sin, and I don't like how it holds up. I don't like it long term. So it also gets heavier as it gets older. Having to set up and take down a haunt, I much prefer Luan as my, let's just call it plywood or skin. And then I use the, so it takes 1 2x2, 2 2x2, 3, 3.5 2x2s to get a wall panel. So there you go. I've made a lot of wall panels in my time. And why I like it, I like that because the H pattern are easier to carry than the triple I-beam pattern. And you use one hole less piece of support stick, whether it's 2x2 or 2x4 or 2x3. 2x3s are pretty hard to find, so that's not a consistent way to go.
Angel M, I used your moving critter video to make moving hands last year, and they turned out great.
Awesome.
Papa says OSB sucks. It implodes with humidity.
OSB sucks. That you are correct.
Jay Gunner, so I ordered skeletons to make corpses and ordered the wrong ones. They are 35 inches, but I can still put them to use. But what would be your suggestion?
You could just make tiny skeletons. I don't know how many you ordered, but you could make little demonic skeletal creatures, corpse them up, you know. Think about the little minions from the gate, or Radu's little henchmen from Subspecies. Those little type of monsters, I think those are really nice.
Realm says, hi, I love the YouTube Wednesday and the Quick Tip.
Thanks, Realms. Appreciate it.
How long have you been making props for?
What time did we go live, guys? Right about 7? Maybe 7:20 p.m.?
Probably means in life.
Oh, a long time.
Jen Smith, my first indoor season, I made a jig for walls, and I was able to glide through making it.
Yeah, make a jig. Make yourself a wall panel jig. Very helpful. There's a wall panel jig on my website, on my YouTube channel.
Michael Asher says the wall panels, you have a large enough wood table, you can make pieces of scrap wood and make a jig on the table. This will help the process go super fast.
Yep.
Tracy Wood says, so I wanted to join your classes, but Texas is a long way from Georgia.
Yeah, you'll have to drive or fly. But people come from Maine, so I know that it can be done.
Nebraska.
Yeah, just the last class we had Nebraska. Warren came out from New Hampshire for airbrush lab. So if you want to attend, then attend. Don't worry about how far it is. How many people would not become astronauts if they said, man, the moon is just so far. I can't do it. I want to go to the moon, but it's far. That can't be what stops you. That can't be what stops you. There are ways to go far. That's the easy part.
Ezekiel says you can do it, Tracy. I'm coming from Australia.
I will not allow something as measly as distance to stop me from doing what I want. When I was, 17, I rode a moped from the Baltimore area to Orlando to get a job at a year-round haunted house. Not that I already had the job, but to go work there. That was the most easy way for me to do it. Or else I had to wait. I didn't want to wait. Distance is not a factor. And I'm not just saying that because it's my class you're talking about. It doesn't matter what it is. Of all the things for you to say something is holding you back, distance isn't it, man. Not relevant. Very good friend of mine. He has no arms and no legs. You know what he does for a living? He's an Uber driver. I'm not even kidding. He says he's the best no-arm, no-leg Uber driver in Dallas. And I'm sure he's right. Distance isn't a factor.
Ezekiel says I can imagine you on the highway on your moped.
I was not making a lot of friends, but I was getting where I needed to go.
Tupworth says hello. Jerry.
A knocks on the moon!
Malia Locke says trying to find inspiration to sense a cloth haunt this year. I almost died. Was it fun? Could have made a great course prop though. Opportunity missed. Thank you for making stuff. Hello from Australia.
Hello, Australia.
Tracy Wood says you are correct. I used to be a truck driver. I will just have to do it. Thanks for talking me into it.
Come on!
Aaron M. I would also go to your own videos now and has, but I've already used it. Keep you a lot. Christopher Lazote. I know a carpenter that was born with half of an arm and he did amazing work. Justin Fox Magic says I just joined the Facebook group.
Hooray! And the Facebook group that he's talking about, for anybody who doesn't know, is the Stilt Beast Live Creepers. Because it's great that you guys can see what I'm working on, but I want to see what you guys are working on. And YouTube is not a good medium for you to show me stuff. So we use Facebook because you can, I can see stuff that you guys make.
Hello, Horror Beauty. Manuel Triana says I lived in Palestine, Texas for many years. I came and moved to California and I regret the move. I miss Texas.
Yeah, Texas is kind of wonderful.
Joanne Crowley says, when you went to Florida on the moped, did you go back roads or Route 95?
I-95 was the only way to go.
Little girl says, Alan, this paint work is amazing.
It's okay. It's not amazing. I am dazzling you with metallic colors. That's what I'm doing. If you want to impress someone or you want something to be classy, use jewel tones. Those are classy. Those are impressive. So what I'm doing is this is all a metallic jewel tone. This is an emerald. And then I'm just laying the black in over top of it. And yeah. So, you know, sometimes I'll do something that has a lot of detail on it. And the power is in just the amount of detail, not the quality of the detail. But I appreciate you saying that. And I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I've used a design trick in order to make you think it's good.
Enigma says hello and would like to know, do you think if I bake Scoopy on a child's doll, will it burn?
The doll will probably melt because the doll is probably hot melt vinyl, and it's going to melt on you. And most of the bodies of the dolls now are fabric, so that would be bad. All right, so here's the mask I just worked on. You can see. Chumps. All right, put this guy over here.
If you painted all the little knobs with a little different shade of green.
I think he would look like he had the meat. So I want to avoid that. I want to avoid the chicken pox look. A lot of times with like moles and things, I normally leave them alone. I let them be that flesh color. So yeah, that's what I normally do. All right, and now Stan is going to regale you with the design concepts of what he's building while I attend a mini conference. Get the regaling, Stan.
I'll let him know what the last piece of foam. Hi everybody. So what we're working on, this is, like Alan said, this is part of a bigger insect suit. You saw the masks, these are going to match with. What we have is, these start out as life-wise. So this is a 4-inch piece of PVC that we drilled a hole in the side. And what it does is, allows you to reach in. See the handle? Hello, Joanne. So you can reach in here, cap it off, and this is what we build the extensions from. So that's what's at the core of this. So what we did was we wanted to do a praying mantis. So you have the core, and we took some EVA foam and we drew up a template. And all these little ridges here, we're going to put some pumpkin teeth in them. Next, we sort of made we knew we needed to make it rise up, so this is sort of a tombstone shaped little piece right here that glues to the insides of it and sticks up enough where we can glue these individual pieces. So I don't have one that's cut out, but this is, they started out as foam for the claws, and this is what they were cut out of, just 3/8-inch foam. Glued 2 pieces of these together and then attached it to the middle, and we're bracing it right now. And here in the background, it's the heat oven, so it's got a piece of foam in it that's heating the whole thing evenly, so I can put it in, and when I attach this I can kind of shape it with my hands, and when it cools it'll retain the shape and it won't fight back and try to pop back off. When it's all said and done, you got you a nice little monster claw to paint and make pretty. One more to go.
Yep. As soon as you're done with that, then we will get you suited up.
Yeah. For sure.
Stan, it's actually getting late. You okay with that? Okay. Okay. So I heard that Warren was on, correct?
Yes, indeed. Just saying that he got home from Texas last night.
Sweet.
Second time he's come down here.
I think it's the third time.
Second time for your class.
Yes. Okay. I need to get the hot glue a gun.
All right, so 4.
Sweet. Well, that was a little more open. Yeah. Yeah. He's ready for damaging.
Swipe now.
Cool. Swipe. 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 Swipe.
Can't
Cool.
see what you're doing.
They can't. Well, they're about to see what I'm doing.
You're gonna ask.
Yeah, so Stan has 4 of them done now.
Is it time?
Yeah.
Warren
Yes.
says, I think 4 trips down there counting visits to dark hour. Stan.
Insect dance is the chance. Alright. Sorry for the random insect dancing, but I got stuff to do, yo.
Aaron says, I ended up getting to finish up my flesh covered popcorn box for my clown killer.
That's right. That's right.
Ezekiel says, still shedding a few tears of the loss of Van Halen yesterday. It's a tough one for guitar players.
Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is. I know it's tough. Talk about being influential in your field, you know, and he's really the guy who got, like, it's worth knowing who the guitar player in the band is, you know, like, I mean, you've got Stevie Ray Vaughan, you've got Van Halen, I don't know if Yngwie is in that league or not, but, you know, it's, not every band's guitarist is well known, but it's much more common now thanks to the efforts of Van Halen and some others. All right, so I've got a Demi Morgan mask, which is, when I get these guys done, they're got like 30 or so materials in them, and I have to put in all these teeth. And this is a hot glue that will stick well to latex, so that's why I'm using it. It's a nice mechanical bond.
It's still me. It's still me.
Okay, so what you missed was Stan had to put on a suit, all right, so I can do some detail painting on it. And when he came out of the bathroom, the dogs did not realize that that was Stan, because it didn't look like...
So muscular now.
Right, yeah, they had a momentary freak out, and Stan had to turn around and show them that the person who randomly appeared, they're not used to people changing clothes that fast, I guess. Yeah.
I'm just swollen now.
Yeah, now he's just swole. All right, so changing gears, I'm not going to be gluing in teeth. I'm going to glue in 1, 2.
Rob O'Brien says, first weeping angel and now this.
Well, this suit is great because it has shin muscles.
Yeah, because those are real.
And it's like,
You get your butt padding.
it's, my butt's extra padded. You got to sit down on it.
Nicholas says, did you make the gray head armature out?
Gray head armature. Probably the one, okay, so all of my armatures are a lot of weird colors. So, the head armature that I just took the bug off of, I believe that's a Mosher Effects bust. That's my belief. Because of its size.
Jay Gunner, last year I made a skeleton. It came out pretty awesome, covered in plastic wrap. The heat gun to it, set a little dark wood stain, and some red and brown spots I used spray foam to make it test.
Very cool.
Scott Creighton says Stan's been working out. Ezekiel says buff Stan.
Buff Stan. Party time. Excellent.
Did you make
Shin
the
bone
muscle
muscles.
suit out?
I did not make this muscle suit. I order muscle suits from China. They are a little over $200 a piece, but they're good. Stan, will you come and stand on the phone?
Stacy says hello.
Hello, Stacy.
RB says the head changes colors, and I'm not gonna lie, I miss the yellow head. Alan, do you use fog juice for a haze, or does it have to have a separate fluid?
It's a separate fluid. Fog fluid is oil-based, and haze fluid is water-based. So they're very different animals. Okay.
We're gonna have to get a picture of you in this for business card.
Yeah. Flag.
Roy's looking buff buddy. Does this go with the Jimmy Gordon?
Yes. These are friends.
Wow, Stan, then at the gym.
Keep pushing out.
Aaron M. says, the bodysuit just screams at me. What a cool werewolf I can be.
Yeah, we've done werewolves out of these. Robert Corey did one for his werewolf. Yeah. If you like hairless werewolves. You need to do a hairless werewolf. And I'm just punching up for a low light environment. That's what I'm doing. Hold on. Uno momento. Stand while they're watching, flex your pecs or something.
Buddy Lee Handsome says, I wish I could spend $200 and look like that in real life. Take my money.
Yeah.
Scott Craig says they need to start drug testing at Dark Alley.
Steroids worked that fast, that would be awesome.
I would have them all.
Yeah, I would like more of the roids.
Third Degree says, we're going to stand you up.
I'll use a reference when you can.
Did it come in blue or did you dye it or paint it?
You can order them in custom colors.
Is that the gibbering mouther I see back there?
Yes.
Ezekiel says this is a big upgrade from sandals and whimsical socks.
When are you coming over here, Ezekiel? I want to make sure I'm free.
Stan Gorgon.
Move a little closer this way, I'm running out of hose. I'm all out of hose. I'm so lost without it. In Airbrush Lab, I told them that sometimes it was just easier to use your left hand. And this is just one of those cases where it's helpful if I just use my other hand as opposed to trying to do it right-handed.
Ezekiel says, I'm just jealous, Stan. Don't mind me. Rachel says, if it was red and tan, it would look like a costume for an attack on Titan.
Yes, and that one is sold pretty frequently by them. They have like that one as a standard. So.
Says Stan taking steroids. Malia Locke. If anyone is interested, Rachel Maxey of YouTube's made an impressive muscle suit if you can't afford to buy one. Carter Beatty says Alan's keeping us at arm's length. Sorry if you already said this. How much does the muscle suit cost?
Well, when you order them from China, they take about 5 or 6 months to get to you, and expect to pay about $200 to $250. And I've actually bought them from several different companies in order to see which one is the best. And some companies just try to rip you off, and then you have to fight and get your money back. I mean, that's the downside about ordering from China. because you don't know exactly, you know, what's going to happen.
Rome says, I wait for 5 minutes and I come back to this.
How it goes.
Hard Duty says, this is a nice muscular suit. It doesn't look saggy like most of them.
No, and I do like these. The problem is that with the China companies, what happens is they all use the same pictures, and they don't all send you the same product.
Did you run into sizing issues ordering from China?
Always. I think this is a 5X.
Who's this suit from? Do you remember?
No, I'd have to go look.
Really?
Is this suit from one of the bug masks?
No, this is actually for a Demigorgon. This is a suit that I honestly thought was done. And then I go to check on it and it wasn't done.
What is left to do on it?
This is it. I have to just paint the bodysuit and finish the head. And the bodysuit painting really isn't difficult.
Aaron, a question, Alan, to show others a creature suit you made. Is it better to use videos or pictures?
Videos. Videos really show it off a lot better than pictures. Pictures you can kind of cheat the angle and you know, just only take pictures of what you want. I think a video is the way to go when it comes to a full suit. I mean, I have still costumes online and I barely sold any. But when I go to the trade show, they sell. So, and I don't have video per se on the website.
Kurt Mattia. I have one of those and I love it. Thanks.
Yeah. Kirk actually bought a Demigorgon from me.
Didn't he get the original?
Well, the originals were the ones I made for another group, but he got the one that went to the convention.
By the way, Kurt Mattia, you ship it out tomorrow. Scott Creighton, I have a choice. I have a Chavez to 1300 Hurricane Fog Gear. Who makes the best fog juice?
I like Froggy's fog juice. Truthfully, your fog juice, it's not all the same, but all the high-end brands are about the same, and all the low-end brands are about the same. So at that point, where I choose to spend my money is with people who put value back in my industry, and Froggy's does that. Give me this side of you.
You look great. Your pumpkin teeth guy is from Blanchard, is that right, Alan?
I don't actually know where he's from, but Bob. And by doing the arch lines, I'm forcing you to think that this is more raised than it is. This is all one piece. But I'll do enough line work in here where your eye will tell you that that is a raised separate piece. Maybe the other side while I remember what I did.
How many washes before the airbrush washes out?
So this suit won't get washed that same way. This suit is a dry clean only, and the dry cleaning should not affect this. Yeah. Like movie costumes, you can't just wash them, unfortunately. You spray it with a disinfecting solution, which is often, like the cheap version of that is just vodka and water, mostly vodka.
West Virginia Kitchen Witch, what a great name. I just bought Code 6 low-lying, really long-lasting fog juice. And at the plus side, no smell, $30 a gallon.
None of it should have any smell. If your fog juice has a smell, then you're 30 a gallon. We at Dark Hour we buy it by the barrel, so you know it's a lot.
Monster Venison, it reminded me of Vlad's armor and Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yep.
People are watching.
Hi everybody.
Rachel Powell says, I'm impressed you can do that with both hands.
Well, one of the things that I had them do when they were at Airbrush Lab, which they were not very happy with, was I made them do some line work and things with their offhand, because it does make a difference. I mean, it is harder, but it's a lot easier for me to just mimic these lines on this side with this hand than it would be to switch, and then because I'm completely fighting the arc of my arm. I am also going to need some ink. Ink makes the airbrush go.
Celeste Kitty, one night we had to shut down our haunt. Some jerk peed in the fog machine the night he got fired. Imagine that smell.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Not necessarily think that's awesome, but okay.
Well,
Roll with it.
what an interesting story you now have to tell.
Monster Denison, I have one more barrel. Do I go with my last page or should I save it for one more project? I don't want to go all men in a week.
Save it. It's coming. It's coming. You will get to the barrel name. Yeah, there's more barrel stuff coming. Yeah, this kind of line work, it's a lot more forgiving than you think. So don't think that you have to get everything perfect in order for it to work out. No, that's not true. Stan, I need to raise you up so I may work upon your buttocks and legs.
I said no one to me ever.
Yeah, well, that happens. Let me see you from a distance too.
Ken Zarish, I don't know if
That's
anyone
nice.
asked you,
Yeah.
Alan, have you ever had to deal with fire while you were working in there?
Yes, I mean, we've had fire drills. There was a small fire in Skull Kingdom that happened while we were on and open. We had a small fire in the back area, a dark hour due to a piece of equipment malfunction.
Had a tornado.
We had a tornado. Yeah.
Mike Jesnowski, just got my Harbor Freight
I'm gonna have to-
cheap airbrush. How expensive is the one you are using? And the name of it, thank you.
What I'm using right now is a Pache H. What I'm using right now is a Pache, right out where you were standing. I'm using a Pache H, and the full kit of a Pache H runs about $100. This is a gratuitous Stan butt shot. I apologize.
It's all for art.
Matthew Gresham, have you seen the new Boris Karloff Frankenstein mask from Trick or Treat? Yes, and if so, are you gonna get it? It seems really great paint on mask so far, which isn't always the case with their stock masks.
I actually ordered it, but they have not sent it to me yet. I have got everything else in that series. I don't think I ordered the Bride, but I've just never been a fan of the Bride's design, per se. So I've ordered it. They haven't sent it to me. I got everything else.
Anderson says the strange things said while fabrication of projects. Rachel Powell, not mine. I think the tornado would have scared me more than the fire.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Because at that point, you have a lot of people who's looking into you for safety. Just like this season, where people had to make calls for COVID. You know, there's people looking at the haunted house professionals for their safety. So, that's a biggie.
Rob O'Brien says the donk. Caitlin Longberry says advice for actors protecting themselves from customers. We have an issue with people body slamming into actors on purpose and trying to make them fall back into the river. A lovely person threw out my back.
That's a consistent problem that you're having. That sounds like you have some issues on several levels. It sounds like you have to address some management issues. If that's a problem that is consistently being had, it sounds like you have to address some customer issues. Number one, raise your price, because sometimes a little bit of extra money keeps out the riffraff. Can you turn around for me, sir? You got to stand on that top step. The top step is actually less weird than the medium step. Because it's going to be weird.
Third degree says Stanny's got back.
Yeah, so, I mean, just be as aware as you possibly can. That's all Stan. There you go.
Carol Gordon, nice butt. Michelle Schulte.
There you go.
I think this makes up for the White Sox and tennis shoes. Sorry, Stan. Matthew Gresham, I agree. I'm not a fan of The Bride. I'm definitely going to get Frank and the Hammered Productions Dracula. Chad Smith says, good Lord, is that a J-Lo booty? Leonard Cook says, where is your haunt held at?
I don't know who he's talking to. If you're talking to me, the haunt that I run is in Plano, Texas.
So the padding on this suit in the rear area is very generous.
Stan has no booty.
It is very generous.
On Design says hello.
Hello.
Her beauty, the things you say to people that seem normal to us but to others, so you may find someone saying to you, said no one ever.
Yeah.
As Fred shows, says she keeps a book of strange and weird things I say to her. Claims she's going to publish it.
We used to do our haunted house t-shirts that were just quotes from the show, like things that actors had said. Honey, can you think of any that were on those shirts?
You know what, Patrick Houghton had one on Sunday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I hate your husband. Boobies. Maybe like fish sticks.
Yeah,
If you don't wear your hat. West Virginia Kitchen Witch just did Field of Screams in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Definitely more animatronics than actors, but we were able to take our time and actually see everything.
I don't know if that's good or not.
Third degree says, why didn't Alan put me in that bodysuit when I was there Monday? I can't imagine why. Stan pulls it off so much better.
There's a reason why there's like
Oh,
small mime-shaped guys who do a lot of the horror movie acting, like Doug Jones is a thing, because they can bulk them out any way that they want. But when we go in suits, they have to at least start with our shape and then go out from there. All right, so Stan, I'm trying to camouflage your crotch so it's not punchable, and so it doesn't look like a vagina. Because any line down the center is going to make it a hoo-ha. So we want to go not a hoo-ha.
Horizontal.
Yeah, horizontal I think is going to be the way we have to go. So this is, okay, because this is going to be in the public eye, and I have to think and say things that the guests are going to think and say. The wonderful men at, oh, she's eating ahead.
Yeah, the whole styrofoam.
Dang it. Sorry, my dog Bella has decided to destroy my property and things. This is going to be in the public eye, so to speak. The nice people at Zagone who make awesome masks, if they had thought a little more about the werewolf and how they were putting hair on it, it might not be called the testicle monster all the time. But the back of his head has a split like a butt crack in it, and it's got sparse gray hair over it. It's a giant testicle monster when you're looking at the back of its head. It's our job as artists to kind of think of that stuff on the front end and make sure that we do whatever we can to keep that from going into the guest's concept. My first instinct was to pull the ab line all the way down. Well, that would have been an airbrushed camel toe and would have been weird at best and inappropriate at worst. So we're just going vertical. Yeah, I don't feel like this is, yeah, this is fine. And then we're just going to darken.
I love what you did with the blue barrel. Your page.
Thank you.
Because yeah, she's laughing so hard she's crying because you said hoo-ha.
I did say hoo-ha. Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. I tend to have restraint with my language. You're welcome.
And then you have to mold pieces of tape to the body parts.
Yeah.
Aida Hawk says hello.
Hello. See, this process goes pretty quickly because the base color is on already, and I have sort of a battle plan of what I want to do. Another thing that's going to help protect this paint job is I'm using straight alcohol-based ink. So water won't just evaporate it away. Spin around. No, I'm using Pinata alcohol-based ink is what I'm using.
Barry Haynes says, interesting. Bodysuit creating. Just wanted to comment and say hi. I've got to go and do some work. Have fun. Says hi to Bob.
Cool. Glad to have you on for a moment there, sir.
Walter Clarion says hello.
Hello. Would you spin around for me, sir? Got it. Oh, I did your shins.
Mm-hmm.
Then can you do a spin up there just so I can look at you? That's done. Okay.
All right.
Hop on down and you can change out of there, sir.
Can I ask a diet question? My doctor has put me on a keto diet. I am on day 2 and struggling to really know where to start. Any advice?
Don't give up.
So what I do, that is the kind of diet that when I am on keto, I mean, that's when I'm dieting, that's what I'm on. I've lost about 85, 90 pounds on it.
You're a team player, Stan.
And I stick very basic. Green leafy vegetables. I like mine boiled into submission because I don't like crunchy vegetables. And then, I'll eat steak or chicken with, a little bit of cheese with it. It's very simple, just as simple food as I can get. Because it's really the complexity and the multi-ingredients, that's where you're going to end up with some mystery things where carbs come in. Sugar is the hardest thing to avoid. You would think it would be the carbs, but for me it's always the sugar. Just avoid sugars. So we just finished airbrushing the bodysuit, okay? And I just want to make a note to you that it has been maybe 2-3 minutes. Stan is changing out of the bodysuit, and I have moved over to start working on the team. I'm not superhuman. I just don't waste any time. I have a project to do, and I want to get it done. I don't overthink it. And I didn't sit there and dread the task that I have to do. I do exactly what I want for a living. But I could easily sit there and dread doing this next task, which is obviously applying hundreds of teeth. Now I did a lot of it when I was not on the air, live, so to speak. So you guys don't have to sit through it. But I'll have this row, this row, this row, this row, and a bunch up under here to do.
Stan is getting a lot of applause for being a good sport, and he got applause for excellent balance and his ability to stand still.
Stan is a great model. I am blessed with a lot of folks who work with me who are excellent at what they do. And not just excellent in the task here, but also excellent performers. You might see Rue and Robert Corey at shows where I'm selling stilt costumes and such. And those guys are on stilts and doing demos and stuff all day. So they do a great job. And Stan is more than willing to put up with whatever when he comes here in the shop. He never knows what he's going to do. It's not the same 2 days in a row, I don't think.
That's for sure.
Yeah. He didn't know he was going to make insect arms when he got here today.
You're getting lots of praise for being a good sport, for putting costume and for your ability to stand still and to have good balance.
Only in the special effects field do you get kudos for being able to stand still.
People are excited about the Demigorgon. Alan, have you ever done glue? Have you ever done glue to skin latex pieces?
Yeah, I use Prozaid.
Aaron, I had tried an experiment and added a little yellow highlighter fluid to the latex for a mask. And it made the mask fully black light responsive. It was pretty cool.
Great.
See, so
Yeah, they have powdered UV pigment that you can just add to your latex, and that does a pretty good job too. You just got to make sure it's mixed in well. So yeah, I'm just gluing one thing on at a time. Hey, honey, can I get you to move to over here? And turn that AC back on? I think you turned that off, didn't you? Yeah. It's getting a little warm. She destroyed the heck out of a styrofoam head. That was her mission.
it's been a very disruptive job. How you don't breathe.
All right, last tooth on this bottom row. Only 3 more rows and a shelf to go. I did all these guys earlier, and I did the back of the petals, so that they have a nice web pattern, and I'll do that up here too. This mask is made out of so many different materials that it's important you do something to unify all of them. But to mold this with all the teeth and with the petals would be ridiculous. And to make it all out of EVA would also be a little bit ridiculous because it would just be difficult. You'd have trouble getting the organicness back into it. And you get the organicness from the sculpted elements. And then you do just the EVA petals, which are a structural element, which are supported by little buttresses back here.
Will you put glue on the inside of the mask, on the bottom of the teeth, or what are you going to do? Are you doing it up to hold it?
Yeah, as I put on every tooth, I'm gluing it in. Like I'm putting on glue like every tooth. So every tooth is being glued in. They're all glued into the socket. So I'm holding a tooth right now. They're all very well glued in.
You're a great motivation speaker. It's helped me push myself to go make stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, since it's so cool.
I think that whatever you're doing, if you can mix in some motivational speaking, you're going to resonate a little harder with your audience, and it's going to add value to whatever it is that you're doing.
Botox Rock says hello.
Hey, Botox, good to see you back on.
It's a great name. Yeah, it's a great name. William Clarius says, Alan, have you ever done a mask over a mask with 2 looks?
Yes, look up a mask that I do called the Cornivore. The Cornivore is a scarecrow, which is like a wood reed type creature, and then but he wears a pumpkin mask over him.
You did the War Pig and Troll one.
Yes, and then I also have Al Driver sculpted a mask called War Piggin, and we made him sculpt a chin for it so that you could paint it like, you know, it's a monster wearing a mask. Yeah, kind of an interesting theme, which I actually do like.
Mr. Eon says, God bless black glue sticks.
Well, I mean, and this is formulated for rubber and vinyl also. So these glue sticks, they're very malleable, they're very flexible, so it gets a really good bond with the latex. If you don't like hot glue, then you are using the wrong glue sticks and the wrong glue gun, because this stuff's amazing. But you have to, invest in your tools. If you're going to make stuff, then a hot glue gun is one of the tools you're going to need. And,
That's a new team. I just got back from the 99-cent store with a bunch of Halloween stuff to customize, says Botox Rocks.
that is awesome. I love making stuff from the 99-cent store.
Plastic Ninja says, hello. Celeste Kitty says, thanks to my squirrel brain, I messed up my cookie recipe, but the good news is I now know how to make brownie brittle instead.
Hooray!
Way to look on the
I would not say that that's a loss. Call it a win, yo.
Haunts by Design. Alan, you are the reason I got back into Halloween and prop making. Thanks
Oh.
to your videos years.
Well, that's awesome. Years and years ago. See, he paid me a compliment, then he made me feel old. See how that worked?
Botox Rocks. I found these little plastic bird cages that I want to put taxidermy ducklings in.
Heck, why? What did ducklings ever do to you?
Mr. Eon, you can't buy those sticks at Home Depot.
Oh, no. You have to, I buy the specialty and I get them, I buy a 25-pound box at a time.
That's the next question about your glue gun and sticks.
Stan, could you hand me top right, more right. The little one that says black glue sticks. Yeah, just one out of the box is fine. 2 or 3 maybe would be good. 'Cause I'm gonna need some more anyway.
This is why I have jealousy issues. The casual way you just talk about latex, not to mention touch it. I can't even look at it without having a reaction. Gurgles.
Well then, don't use it. Anytime I say latex, pretend I'm saying neoprene. Pretend that I'm saying silicone. You have options. So look at how flexible this glue stick is. Like most glue sticks just aren't this flexible. These are really nice. So, there you go.
Alan, what is the best way to do a self-bust to create masks like you do?
So I actually did a video on making a plaster effects bust. It is not a bust of your own head, but you can make it to your proportions. So look up my Make a Plaster FX bust. And like when I did the scarecrow mask, the burlap mask recently, I used that. There was another, when I did the spray foam mask, I used that. It doesn't have to be your head. You can make a foam wig head and plaster into something close enough to your size that will work for making masks for you and anyone who's close to your size. Obviously, the other way is to get a head cast done. That is kind of a difficult process, and you can't do it to yourself safely.
Alan, I enjoyed The Weeping Angel and much older Why Is It Gotta Be Snakes. Both were excellent for creative thinking, says Gregory.
Well, excellent. Thank you.
What do you like better, cordless or corded Servonder glue?
Corded. Cordless, I just don't trust them long term.
Alan, thanks for all the content. I love the variety from original sculpture, taking production items to the next level, or hacking something on the
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is, even big productions, they want to hack stuff on the cheap. I mean, that just happens. It's a good way to go and to go about things.
Richard Clark, which makes for a better laser swamper, a hazer or a fog machine with phase juice?
Hazer. A hazer is going to make you a better laser swamp for sure. A fog can sometimes get too thick, and then it can be too thin, whereas a haze, you can really set that level, and it just works out wonderful.
Mr. Eon says the first life mask we make is always the scariest. We trapped our friend's eyebrows and always remember the release stages.
It doesn't have to be the scariest. Vaseline your eyebrows, kids. One of the things that I normally say when I'm about to do a head cast is I say, which eyebrow is your favorite? And I say that, A, as a joke, in order to get them to loosen up a little bit, because they are about to be minorly entombed, and also as a reminder to them that, you know, you have to release the hair if you want it to come off pretty easy.
Good night, Warren.
Good night, Warren.
Richard Clark says, by the way, I received my coordinator today.
Awesome.
I love it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Oyo Loco checking in. I bought chicken for everyone. Who wants a leg or a thigh? I'll take a thigh.
I'm more of a breast man myself. You couldn't tell from the video, yes. If I maintain eye contact, then it won't be weird. That was my thinking.
Botox Rock says, I want to start saving for Monster King.
Do it, buddy. Come on. Botox, where you located? Yeah, so this guy has, you know, about 250 teeth on him. That's how many of these guys have when I do them. There's 90 socketed teeth, and then the 4 petals. So,
Botox is located in the high desert.
which high desert? You mean Lima, Peru? Lima is the highest elevated capital city, I believe.
Saw the Weeping Angel video today. Awesome and simple to make. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the hope, right? That it's simple to make. If I look like I'm having a hard time with it, then I think that you guys might not want to start it and do it. And I want this to be accessible. I want anything that I'm doing, you guys can do. I'm not special. I have years of practice. That doesn't mean that there's anything that I'm doing that you can't do.
Botox Rocks is located in Joshua Tree, California.
Sweet. Maybe Lima, Peru is not the highest capital city. Maybe it's the highest golf course.
Deep Floods, my God.
I'm just remembering.
That'll be a trivia question.
Yeah. Stan, you getting your affairs in order, sir?
Yeah.
I don't want to kick you out. When you got here, you said I have to leave by 8.
No, I thought I had a blank back there. I can't find it.
A turtle blank?
Uh-huh.
Honey, did you put a turtle blank away?
I shipped a turtle.
Yes, but there was another turtle blank that was Stan's.
No, not Steve turtle. I took one turtle blank and I shipped it.
It's okay.
I think that your turtle blank is still here. I don't think we shipped your turtle blank.
No,
I'll be back.
I know I did.
I know where you live. I'll be
Yeah.
back.
You probably weren't going to use it in the next couple of days anyhow.
I was not.
Did you see it?
What's that?
No, I poured it here at,
Are you sure it's been cool?
Yeah. It was pulled, moved aside, we poured another one, pulled that one, and that's when we shipped. So I know how many happened in the process, but
Another one.
yeah, so I had to make sure that it didn't get cut the other day.
Alan, the last few weeks I have learned a lot from watching your channel, says William Claris.
I am so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Anything that you picked up that was your favorite tidbit?
Thanks.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Stan. Thank you.
Welcome.
John C. says La Paz, Bolivia.
Stan, say goodbye to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
La Paz, Bolivia is the highest capital? Highest desert. Okay.
Mr. Eon says, we used to make a point of taking out the studio staff to watch films or have a DVD playing in the studio itself. How do you catch up on that stuff? There's so much. You're always on there.
I just don't. I mean, there's movies I don't see. One of my tenets is I want to produce more than I consume. So even if I wasn't on a COVID diet of lots of live videos, then I would still be producing more time-wise than I am consuming. Whether I'm consuming radio, whether I'm consuming movies, whether I'm consuming TV, that's helping me see influences, that's helping me get influenced, but I think it's more important for you to act on it and to go make stuff. Produce things. Make a physical thing. Make a digital thing. Okay. Are you biting my hand? These are my doggos, and they are happy to see me most of the time.
Hey, just can't go outside and being gone. You gotta open the gate.
Boris, Bella, 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 Bella. Oh, there's Cheney and there's Bella. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, dog pile. Oh goodness, there's 3 of them. Oh, they're all 100 pounds. Who decided to get 3 dogs? So Boris has a wig head in his mouth, and you can see all the shrapnel. And this wig head is now nothing more than like a softball-sized ball that they have. That was a wig head that they destroyed while I was live. And I'm sure I was talking about something important before my dogs came over and mugged me.
Being, even if you weren't in a COVID
Yeah,
life,
and
still be on.
and frankly, because of COVID, that was just such an immediate source of possible depression. I made a decision very early on that I'm going to go live a lot and be a positive thing that I can. So I am doubly blessed that I am able to produce in 2 ways. Right now, I'm producing a mask that I'm making, and I'm producing video content for others. So, you know, I'm doubly blessed. I'm able to produce in 2 ways right now. And I just think that being mindful of how much, if you don't use a muscle, then it atrophies. Well, if you are constantly consuming someone else's imagination, will your imagination falter? Will your imagination wither? I think it would. So, I'm afraid of that.
I don't use as much hot glue as you do. Which model would you recommend for me to purchase from Shore?
Give me 1 second. To be honest with you, it doesn't matter. This is the one that you want. This guy right here. This is a AC 120, 60 hertz, 300 watt glue gun. Underneath it has a temperature settings, and this takes the regular size glue sticks. This is not their highest end model. This is around $200, I believe, and worth every penny, considering most other glue guns are going to be 30, 40, 80 bucks, and this guy will just walk circles around them. The very fact that I'm able to adjust the temperature as much as I can from 200 to 400 degrees is a game changer as far as getting different effects and different uses for the glue gun. I can do all of this vein work and line work because I can cool the glue stick down where it won't run everywhere.
What are you painting tonight? It looks crazy in a good way.
So I painted a bug earlier, and I'm looking at the time, 9:25. I'll probably start painting this tonight. I don't think I'll get it done. I'm going to go till midnight. No, I'm not. I'm going to go till 10 o'clock. Why did I say midnight? I'm going to go till 10 o'clock because, frankly, I just need a little bit of rest. I was up until 5 a.m. working on the YouTube video because, it just takes a long time to edit and then get it saved from the computer. You have to watch it during that process. And then once it's saved to the computer, then you upload it to YouTube. And that can take hours. But it's a process.
Is that a Demogorgon?
This is a Demogorgon, yes.
Barry Hayes said, I finished post and painting my second graveyard statue tonight. Tomorrow, finishing touches, adding small moss clumps and Spanish moss highlights and shadows.
That is very cool.
I tend to consume what I'm making at the time, says Mr. Enon. I watch what's needed for my job.
I gotcha. Yeah, and while I'm in here, if I'm in here working and I have horror movies on, I don't count that as just consuming. What I'm talking about of just consuming is when you're sitting on the couch watching TV, or you're just sitting there and you're scrolling on your phone. When you're scrolling through social media, you're consuming other people. So, I just don't think that's the healthiest way to be.
Botox Rock says I make Halloween junk journals.
That's awesome.
I do mixed media and paper crafting.
That's very cool.
William Chorus, good night, molding and pouring, laying hair and some painting. I have done most of my costumes with makeup.
Gotcha. Yes. Makeup is a good way to go, and it's certainly very comfortable. I think it takes a high degree of skill in comparison to something like a mask. I think a mask you can kind of just get done a little faster. One of the reasons I love masks, and I have ever since I started in haunted houses, is that how quickly I can turn into a different character. That's really appealing to me, how fast that transition is.
Malia Locke, thank you for your live streams. It's still going after lunch. I may pop in again. April Skites, just found this channel yesterday and I've been watching every chance I get. Absolutely love your work and you have a wonderful personality.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Tina Kusiak says, attack of the puppies. Rodney Pope just donated $10 and said, you've made a huge difference for this for a lot of people. I know you have for me, so thank you.
Rodney, that is very kind. Thank you so much, sir. I'm in a position where I love what I do. I'm in a position where, I don't know, I guess I have a different viewpoint than a lot of folks.
Does this mean we're consuming you right now?
Right now, you are consuming what I am putting out. You are correct. Now, does what you're consuming, how does it affect you? Does it help you or does it hurt you? That is a question. Is this a positive consumption in your life or is it not a positive consumption? My goal is for it to be positive. But if you watching me is not a positive thing for you and your consumption is negative, then maybe you should back off a little bit. But if you are driven to make things, if you are driven to create, if you are able to find and identify a new form of self-worth through what you can make and what you can achieve, then I would say it's probably a positive thing. And keep on watching.
Botox Rock says that it's just reaffirming that I need to be in hauntings.
It's not a bad place to be. The haunt industry, it's a little bit of a misnomer. I don't know if we're technically an industry. It is an industry, but we don't, there's a lot of industry things that we don't have. We're working on it. I think we're growing our sense of community. I certainly do that every chance I can, but I have to put in a new glue stick for one tooth. Yeah, I mean, we are a collection of like-minded businesses. That is what the haunt industry kind of is. But you know what? A lot of us aren't even businesses. A lot of what we are is hobbyists. This is a wonderful hobby. This is a distraction from what they have to do for their 40 hours a week. You know, they want to be distracted by making monsters and props and things. That's nice.
Is that an enthusiast?
Yeah, yeah. And for the record, I like the word amateur. I want to be called an amateur. I don't mind being called an amateur at all. The root word of amateur is amor, love. It means you love what you're doing. Why wouldn't I want to be an amateur? I love what I do. I have found a reason and a thing to love my whole life that I don't see myself slowing down and stopping what I'm doing. Maybe I can change gears a little bit. I might work smaller one day if I get, when I get a lot older. But I found a path. I found joy. I'm an amateur. Great. I'm kind of always not knowing exactly what I'm doing simply because I'm always trying something new. So when it comes to sculpting with Loctite foam, I'm an amateur. Well, it was just invented, so I'm okay with that. When it comes to using polyethylene foam to make things, I'm an amateur. I've only been doing it a couple years. I've been a haunter my whole life. I've been a monster lover my whole life. But the ability to make things and the ability to embrace being an amateur and embrace not knowing what I'm doing by learning something new all the time is very rewarding to me. So don't mind being called an amateur at all. But and the other side is, if I were a business person, I don't know that I like the flavor of that word in my mouth as much. I want to be a decent enough business person where I can keep doing what I want to be doing. I want to be that good of a business person and this much of an amateur, in my opinion. But I don't even pretend to have it all figured out.
Haunting by Design says, I say gives knowledge to all that watch. Chad Smith says, I find the older I get, the more I enjoy watching documentaries.
Yeah.
Enigma says, hey Alan, since wood is overall pretty soft, is it necessary to break a guitar string tool, or is it just better to use bigger tools, a saw blade, or a serrated kidney tool to level it?
Okay, so the fact that it is soft doesn't change what happens to the texture. I still rake down as fine as a guitar string on most of my sculptures. Yeah, its softness doesn't change the way the finish looks. If you're talking about, I want a smooth tabletop, I want a smooth, flat look. It doesn't matter if that flat surface is pudding or if that flat surface is marble. Whatever you have to do to get it to be a nice flat surface, you do that. And for WED, I would certainly suggest raking. Raking is huge. Huge.
Jennifer R. says I consumed the Money Mask video while I had a migraine. It was very soothing to watch.
Hooray!
William Clarius, with the costumes that I have done with makeup, I have had hundreds if not thousands of pictures taken of me. And I went to haunts in costume told by people that work there that I should be working there.
Okay, great.
Misty Jindorowski says, the hubby said since I started watching you, my skill level on making stuff has increased tremendously.
Well, that is awesome then.
Rodney Pope says, I do love that despite all of our different beliefs in all of the areas of our lives, this one brings us together as a group.
Yes.
Jekyll and Hyde Creation says, good night.
Good night, Jekyll and Hyde.
Pollo Loco says, I found joy in scaring people too, Alan. I worked in a haunted house for 6 years until I retired last year. I missed a lot though. I left because the managers were unbearable.
Just go to a different haunted house. There's more than one. I've worked for lots of haunted houses. And I think they'd probably be happy to have your skill set. So I'm just filling out the rest of this with texture, like I did on that bug mask, to break up the look of these, these two flat things. I don't know, it's just not nice. It's a nice, webby sort of look. And again, I have the hot glue gun on a low setting. Having control over how hot this glue is what's allowing me to make these designs. If I didn't have control over the glue gun, then I would have to kind of just hope it's the right temperature and maybe even unplug it and wait for it to get right and then plug it back in. Pain in the buttocks.
Celeste Kitty says anyone who calls themselves professional in the sense that they are the end-all, be-all, whatever it is they do, are so full of their eyes, or so full of their eyes around everything, every profession is changing. Constantly, so what they learned years ago probably isn't even the same now.
That is a possibility. That's one way of looking at it. Now, I do call myself a professional haunter a lot, simply because I get paid for what I do, and I hold myself to a set of standards. Those things are some of the factors that make me a professional in what I do.
Spastic Vision Film says, I love the way you say things. You are a great inspiration. And Ryan F. says, I've had an idea rattling around for a full-body, fresh, close type prop with bowling ball-like holes in the facial area that one can drag on menacingly toss aside. I would love to hear your take.
Bowling ball size holes in the face
Facial area.
that can drag what?
That one could drag or menacingly toss aside.
Oh, a body. Okay. Yes, you know what? I don't think that there are enough props that are bodies out there. And so, follow me on this train, okay? Having that, which is a body, so many times people buy bodies at the haunt shows, and the company has it displayed laying on a table or laying on the ground or on a gurney or whatever, and that's how they think they need to use it at the haunt. I think that someone needs to, like offer a beat-up body, you know, and it is this full-size person that is tough enough for an actor to throw it around the room, you know, grab it by the throat, throw it against the wall, throw it down when the guests come in. That's a level of interactivity that we don't normally have from our props. How come when people think of, I make fake weapons for haunted houses, how come they're making fake foam axes, fake foam pipe wrenches? You know, I think that they need to make a dead cat that is durable enough where you can hold it by a leg, but part of it is sponge, and when they smack it on the table, a little bit of water shoots out of people. You know, think about anything else that an actor might grab and interact with that has to be actor-proof to get a reaction from the customers. There's a lot that isn't being done right now, and nobody has time to do it all. But those are some things that need to be done for the industry, in my opinion. Yeah.
Alan, have you ever worked with animatronics?
Yes. I don't weld, but I have sculpted animatronics. I have put them together. I foamed them in place over the skeleton, and I've even programmed them on some Fright Props controllers.
And of course it says no.
Hello, Dan. Hope your haunt is going well. My hair's a little nuts, sorry.
Chad Smith says, with the black glue on there, it gives me a venom vibe, which we couldn't see one of those with glue all over. Haunt by Design says good night.
Good night, Haunt by Design.
Hauntings by Design.
Good night, Hauntings by Design. All right, guys, we're going to be live for 20 more minutes. 20 more minutes of fun together, and I'm going to at least get a base on this guy. This guy, the base of this guy.
Justin Rudy. Hey, Alan, I just want to make sure this idea will work before I go through with it to avoid locking the bowl. I was thinking about making and holding the top part edging at the edge of the bowl, then sculpting the underridge part of the mushroom onto the underneath part. I'm going to sculpt separately and then just gluing that part to the mushroom. The only thing I need to make sure is I make the underneath design the right size and prepare for latex shrink.
You could actually just make the underneath bigger than it needs to be and trim to fit, right? I would just make it bigger and then trim it to fit. And I think you're thinking too much. Start shrooming, my friend. Start shrooming. That could be taken wrong.
Jackie UK says hello.
Hello, Dragon Master.
Ken Zarish says good night.
Good night, Ken Zarish.
Botox Rock says I had fun hanging out with y'all.
Why, thank you.
Andrew Brzezinski. Tarantula's husband here.
Hooray!
I asked about your ventilation system on Monday due to one of the jobs I had on the Coast Guard. I'm the shipyard competent person in clearing spaces for hot work. You showed him that. Did you show him?
Yes, we use Grizzly industrial air scrubbers. There are 2 of them in here. There is one. It is that unit right there. And then there is another one back there. And I'm going to pick up a couple more. I really like them. And one of the mods that I do is if you just put a strong UV light inside of it, then you're filtering the air with UV as well, which a lot of systems are doing nowadays because that helps kill virus.
Buddy Coach, did you say you used to watch King of Queens? You sound like it when you say, in my opinion.
No, I've never watched. I haven't watched a single episode of that.
Happy, have you ever made an Oogie Boogie costume from the night before Christmas? What materials did you use? How would you do it?
I directed someone who made one. I directed Allie, who has been on, to make one. And I had her make it out of Tyvek, and we actually inflated it. So the suit was sewn together, and it had a tube coming out of the back of it, and a fan fed it, and it was an inflated costume. And the actor was very, very comfortable because it was inflated.
William Clarius would like to know, what stilts would you say I would use, being that I'm over 310 pounds?
I would use the kind that I sell on my site, as I am 310. Well, I was 310 pounds, and I'm under 300. But even when I was 320, I was on dual pole shore stilts. There's a pole on each side of your knee. Those are the ones that I recommend. I don't like anything else.
Ryan F. talking about the costume with the rolling skull style holes in the facial area. Says, yes, exactly, thanks. I'm thinking a large creature drags body across a path, looks over at guests, growls, tosses bowling ball corpse, and vanishes out. Tried the prototype of the joints between the movie.
Yeah. You might try a harsher, I don't know what you use for joints. I'd probably use a, like a 1-inch thick dock line rope. Probably where I'd go.
Justin Rudy says, this is one of those projects I really wish I was with you to work on.
Well, guess that's why we do Monster Camp. But it's just, just do it. Because, I mean, if you spend too much time thinking about it, how much of it could you have done if you had spent some less time planning?
Looking at this mask reminds me to trim my nose hairs.
That's right. Good to see you on 1980. Trying to get this all gray, and then I can start doing some detail painting. And I'm not dry brushing this because of all those teeth and stuff. I mean, just this is kind of a dry brushing nightmare.
Davey, the new undergrad. Yo, Stilt, been a fan for a while. Keep up the good work.
Why, thank you, sir.
John Kerr says that's totally my problem. I overthink.
Yeah, thinking too much.
Davey, the new undergod says the mask looks great so far.
I barely think at all.
Ryan F says, thick rope, genius. I had PVC pipe and zip tie skeletons. Thank you. Just Rudy, is that all EVA foam?
Well, this is EVA foam, and these petals are EVA foam. But if you look, you can see where a latex half mask starts. And I've bonded all of them together. Because I felt that's the best way to build this. I get flexibility and durability and organic look, and I get to keep my mold size comfortable because I'm not molding all these petals and stuff out of latex. And also, like the first time I did this, I had to make 2 or 3 of these suits. Well, I had to make 3 of these suits because they wanted them for their park. Well, I was able to change how open these were just by how I put them together.
How did you get all those
there is a cut in them. So they actually look like this. And then I glue them together and that bowls them.
William Clarius, what pressure are you running your airbrushes at?
I should be running my airbrushes at 80 psi. That's what's coming out of the compressor. And I'm pretty sure the compressor is on. But it's so quiet, it's hard to tell.
Andrew Brzezinski, you said you have not done any welding. Have you ever tried plastic welding for any of your projects?
Yep. Well, technically I did plastic welding on the Weeping Angel because I welded that plastic tarp together with the heat gun and a popsicle stick. But I actually have a plastic welder, and I got it in order to do it on polyethylene foam. But the plastic welder, which is like a heat gun basically, but it's a much finer nozzle. The plastic welder, it's a specialized tool. So when I did the foam body, when I do stuff out of pool noodles and stuff for YouTube, I don't use it because I don't want you guys to think that you have to have that special tool to do it. You can do it with a regular heat gun.
Jackmania77, hello. Awesome work you do. Question, have any of your creature creations appeared in any movies? If so, can you name the movie and cool shirt?
Not really. I'm not a movie guy. So I'm a haunted house guy. I don't do special effects for haunted houses because I failed at making things for movies. I do things for haunted houses because that's what I want to do. I don't do stuff for movies, I do stuff for haunted houses. My work for haunted houses appears in haunted houses kind of all over the country. I'm very blessed that way. And yeah, I just was, so I don't like it. It's not for me, let's say.
Did I hear you say you have another barrel built coming?
I do.
What did this latex mask used to be, or was it made for this build?
It was made for this build. And it was the latex mask part of it is just the inner part of the mouth and this upper piece right here. All the rest of this is actually EVA buildup.
Mr. Moody, my boss at work recently started sculpting figurines with clay you baked to harden from craft stores. Brand I'm not sure of, but will airbrushing and washes for painting work on that clay?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, he's probably using polymer clay. It's either Fimo or Sculpey. And then there's a couple other brands. Those are the two biggest ones. And absolutely it'll work.
Good night, Pollo Loco.
Good night, Pollo Loco. I appreciate your offer of delicious chicken. Hi, everybody. You're all watching paint dry. That's exactly what you're doing right now. I'm glad you're with me. I'm not lonely. If you guys get a chance, thank my wife for reading comments. Thank my wife for reading comments because, you know, I can certainly do a better job of responding if I know what all of you guys are saying. And it's very hard if you're doing this on your own.
Thank you, wife. Scott, go on.
Also, thanks Scott, because he's the guy who's dropping links every time that we talk about stuff.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. She says she likes my pumpkin project pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop a jack-o'-lantern. Thank you, wife.
What's that?
Is it hashtag hey wife?
Yeah.
Hey wife. I think that everybody, you haven't had anybody complain that you call me wife lately.
No, I had someone on early video complain that, like, don't you call her wife? She's got a name. To which I say, a lot of people have that name, but I only call one person in the whole world wife. I think that's kind of more of an honorific, if anything.
Yeah, I think they thought you were being cool.
That's me.
Yep. Chad Smith says, at times I call my wife woman.
Yeah.
Justin says, he asked me, is there a way to strengthen that clay even stronger after baking?
No. Now, most people do most of their work. They do a wire armature underneath, but it's just not very strong clay. It's used for real small stuff most of the time. Most of your big action figure makers, they're going to use like a 5-minute epoxy or an epoxy clay where you mix two together and they harden. That's how I did my Beast Man, with the 5-minute epoxy clay. I don't like the Fimo baked stuff. It's too brittle. If you drop it, it's toast. Okay. I feel like I'd start putting color on this. And everything that I'm painting, you know what? It's not. I was about to say, I could just spray paint this in here because EVA and plastic, but latex. Can't spray paint the latex. So that means I'm going to grab a bottle of paint and do it up the other way. It's 9:57. Once I apply the red, I'll be done for the evening. But I want you guys to see that big punch of color. And this famous last words shouldn't take long.
Night, Ezekiel. Cobwebs just said, David Gordon.
I'm doing a base of pink because I'm going to airbrush red after. And the pink is really a magenta.
Davey, the new undergrad, says, I spied a mummy in the back. Good work on that.
Hey, thanks.
1980 says, wife, financial consultant, nutritionist, commissioner of wardrobe, and of course, minister of war and finance.
That's right.
Tammy Belaganis, I do hope I said that right. Since started watching your YouTube channel a few weeks ago, I started making stuff. Thanks.
Awesome. I love that. Now I can go back to this and I can airbrush red over top of this magenta, and that's going to bring it, and I'll do dark or black over top of the gray on the back side, and that's going to get this lined up exactly where it needs to be. In my opinion. I say in my opinion because not that from a TV show, it's not fact, you know. This is, you know, we can argue color theory, and in some cases, I'm very careful with my words. I try to be very careful with my words. I called someone a name the other day to my wife that she's never heard me say that word. But that person deserved it. And we've been married, how long? We've been, in October next year, it'll be 20 years that we met.
Together, yeah, and we've been married 16 years next month.
Married 16 years next month. And she's never heard me say that bad word. I'm very careful with what I say. So I don't like to speak in absolutes. And speaking in absolutes is I never, I always, you never, you always. Because as soon as you do that, you're wrong. No one always forgets to put the toilet seat down. And I don't like that. I don't like that, what that does. When you speak in absolutes, you're just not acknowledging the other person, and it's all about you. But if you're able to speak in such a way where, you know, in my opinion, I think that, you know, and I just think that's more respectful. And if you have a chance to be respectful, do that. Until all of those chances are removed.
Says, what you call me this time? Instead of yarn ponds, what glue do you use for flopping?
PVA glue. I used a bunch of different kinds, and I liked PVA glue the best. This is nowhere near done, but he has a healthy start down the road of paint and of color. So he is basically demi-Gorgon colored. I'm going to do all the red airbrushing. I'll do all of the black airbrushing. And then I will paint all of his teeth white. And this guy will be ready to go.
Graphy UK says there's a clay called Paltia.
Paltia.
Paltia. It's good for sculpting and dry rot's hard. It's waterproof. When it's dry, expensive. When it's dry, it's expensive.
It is expensive. It's very nice. It is basically a type of outdoor concrete that is sculptable. It's good stuff.
Anthony Cantano says it looks good.
Why, thank you.
Rock says it looks good. And Misty Does Rescue says my anniversary is also next month. Cubby and I will be celebrating 19 years.
That's awesome.
Abby says, yes, thank you, wife. Without us, they would be lost.
Yeah, I would be lost.
Creativity Entertainments. Custom Corpses says, Alan, if you would like to be an affiliate on my website, just go to the shop button and scroll down all the way to the bottom of my page and click affiliate.
Which website again?
Custom Corpses. And that is 10:02.
All right, so we are at 10:02. So, or 10:04, my clock says. But anyway, wife, do you want to say goodnight to these fine folks?
Good night, folks.
And I want to say goodnight. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. I know that you had a lot of choices as far as what you could do tonight, and I think it enriches my experience here in the shop when you guys hang out with us. So, you're awesome. Have a great night. Go make stuff.